All right, so I'm Adrian, the recovered type 2 diabetic. This is the T2 Diabetes Brotherhood. And today I want to talk about just how the hell do you even navigate through all the systems that we have in place, mainly like all the information on the internet. It seems like, when you're first starting out, it's probably pretty wild. It's like the wild, wild west, and I think it's only going to get even more wilder. So the problem we have, what I'm finding, is some people brought to my attention that we have some people like in the vegan realm who are curing type 2 diabetes, supposedly. People in the carnivore realm that are doing it, people in the keto, the low carb. And at this point, it's kind of like, well, which one do you pick, right? Who do you believe? But some of you have pointed out the fact that a lot of these people, some of them have been caught, right? Some of the vegans have been caught eating like fish when they weren't supposed to. They got in big trouble. So a lot of these people who claim that they have these diets that, that they're just all 100% in, may not possibly be telling us the truth. Oh, whoop-dee shit, right? What a big surprise. So if you're starting out and you're a male like me, middle-aged, you're probably pretty fucking busy, like myself. Like, I don't have time to, make these videos all nice and polished and everything. I'm going for a 30-minute walk right now, and I'm taking you guys on because I'm busy as fuck, like you guys probably are. But the thing that scares me is that a lot of guys are probably going to be searching for stuff, and it's just a maze of information. So how do we deal with this? Like, what do we do? What did I do? Well, when I first started out, I started watching lots of YouTube videos. I went to books and stuff like that and started researching anything and everything I could find. Well, I've always been skeptical. You guys might be as well. But I kind of lost my way because I was scared, right? And I wasn't necessarily scared. I was just very concerned about, parts being removed from my body, going blind, things like that. I've had a cousin who had his big toes removed from gangrene. He actually passed away from complications of type 2 diabetes. And, I wanted to figure it out. So what happened is I started researching, and it was like, God damn, like a lot of this stuff that people were saying made a lot of sense, So I started hearing more towards a low carb diet, which is what I started out with. And that's what worked for me. But then as I progressed and started finding out more and more information that was out there, I started getting a scare. Like one of them I can tell you guys about right now, which I'm in the midst of researching, is that the vegans are saying that the fat basically in your diet is what's encapsulating, basically, to put it simple, maybe I'm wrong, somebody, don't get your panties in a fucking bunch. I'm in the research stages, it's not like I'm ignorant and didn't look at it before, but what they're saying is that the fat surrounds the cell and then blocks it from receiving insulin. So all this fat, you can imagine, kind of like Criscoing up your motor, it just becomes all greasy and sticky and gross, right? And the insulin, for some reason, it can't penetrate. It's like a wall. Well, to give you guys an example on what I found so far, and I'm not going to mention names. I want to do a live presentation on this one. I don't want to go too much on this right now, but from what I could find, the study was actually not done with animal fats. Now I'm going to dig deeper. It was actually done with palm oil. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is that, you find something, you're like, oh my God, they actually have results. It's a registered diafucking-tician. So it wasn't even done with animal fats. It was done with palm oil. And it was done for, I think, only a few hours from my understanding right now. And it was basically given like a shot glass of like fat to people with a regular eating like burgers, French fries and stuff like that. Which is interesting because that's not pure animal fats. We actually have potatoes soaked, saturated in grease. But what they found by giving them this palm oil is that they became insulin resistant for that time being. So I did some searching and I was like, well, is this thing how long was this done? From my knowledge right now, it was done on like 14 patients. And one day, 14, that's it, one day, and not even with animal fats. So I think we can leave it alone. We're going to tear it apart if you guys want to when I go live. And I'm trying to go live every day at noon. But this is the kind of shit that when you start researching, you start to find, and it's like, oh, okay. But it's very difficult, right? Because you're like, well, these people are certified, registered nutritionists. Some are even doctors. And it's like, well, they've had success. Okay. So how do we debate that? Well, what I think is that it's the middle ground is that it's processed foods, junk foods, and things like that. It seems like people on a vegetarian diet, vegan, have results. The point is to push your body as far as possible, I guess, where you eat a bunch of carbs and you become carb tolerant, right? I just don't see it as sustainable. There's a lot of questions I have, like you may as well too. Like, you know, if nature has a design, are you gonna have turnips and carrots and papayas and everything, like pretty much any kind of vegetations or fruits year round? No. One of the things you will find, I just saw a squirrel running in the field. The squirrel's meat. You're probably most likely, geographically, you know, where you're located at, but pretty much anywhere in the world, even if it snows over or something, the most likelihood of you finding food in the form of it's probably going to be meat. And if this was such a problem that animal fats would block insulin and we're all going to die because we're eating meat, then what the hell happened with our ancestors? Why are we still here? Why didn't everybody just die off? So questions like that. So yeah, I asked why certain individuals would spend so much money and time to push this out. And, you know, knowing that, well, why would they do this if they knew it was just a study done for one day with not much empirical evidence? And it was like, because it's profitable and it's easy to market, because those who want to be vegan, you know, will justify it. And well, they're finding out what they want, right? So if there's something you want, like you want to be carnivore, you want whatever it is, fill in the blank, there's plenty of information out there for you to find it. So I just talked about a bunch of fucking problems, but what would be the solution? You know, what did I do? Being untrusting and such skeptical as I am, I actually went and I got a continuous glucose monitor. I've got it on my arm right now. Here, let me show you guys what that looks like in case this is your first time here. And it basically looks like this. And it measures my blood sugars in 5-minute increments. And it shows me the data every 5 minutes, so 24/7 while I'm sleeping, while I'm stressed. It shows everything about me. And it doesn't fucking lie. Neither do my blood labs. So in order for me to get the shit out of my mouth and tell you what I had to do, I had to go the long game, which is always work, right? I don't think a lot of people want to do the work that I've done. In fact, I've been called batshit crazy. But being skeptical, I had to find out for myself. So by measuring what I eat, fruits, vegetables, meats, fats, going under stress, I put myself, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm a fucking freak of nature. I always do experiments with myself. So wearing a CGM is like, I don't know, you get addicted to like trying new shit. Plus I'm here to help people, you know. I consider myself probably an uneducated scientist, nutritionist, finding out what works for me, because, you know, this is not a fucking game. This is not like, oh my God, I want to be vegan. Oh, I want to be carnivore. No, I fucking despise type 2 diabetes and never want to have it again. I need answers. I don't need fucking to follow a side or anything like that. So yeah, what I found is that this has been a long haul of trial and error. And I think that the CGM, the continuous glucose monitor, for the future, I'm already working with people right now to help them as well, is what's going to happen is you got to do this yourself, right? Everybody's bodies are different. I'm not against veganism. I'm not against carnivore. I'm about results. But I do think that seeing the information that's out there, you know, we haven't been doing this long enough, but on my unbiased observations, I think that people are going to have luck, or not luck, they're going to have success with either or. Keto, ketovore, carnivore, By the way, if you're asking me, I'm glad you didn't, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm actually paleo. So there's many different diets. I don't even know if I'm even paleo. I'm just like, I'm anti type 2 diabetes diet, I guess. So yeah, each individual I think is going to have to strap one of these CGMs on, and you're just going to have to go through the gamut to find out what works for you. Now, for myself, the work that I've done, I think that the majority, let's just say, that a majority of you are going to have great results if you follow the diets, follow the protocol that I've done with myself. Some of you, maybe it won't. Time will only tell. The more and more people that take me on as their coach, I guess, it sounds so fucking weird to say, advisor, then the more and more information I'm going to find out. And it's actually the long haul, right? So you look at people like Paul Saladino, who started out all carnivore, and now he's eating honey and fruits, and I think even some vegetables. So, you know, I'm not here like these other guys who are just like, or gals, who are just putting the bold claims on there. Although it's very hard to fucking dispute, because I get a lot of pushback like, no, you did not reverse type 2 diabetes. That's impossible. You're just in remission. You can't go back to eating anything you want, like sugars and stuff, without having a big spike. I'm like, why the fuck would I go back to that fucked up diet? You know, that's the problem with humanity. We're stuck in this brainwash of a diet is French fries, sugar, candy, ice cream stuff. If you don't eat any of those things, you're on a special diet. So we're all fucked up. But I'm here to really get real results, and I've had them with myself, and I'm indisputable. From blood labs, I check my cholesterols, my ALT levels, basically everything I can. The most markers I can find, and we have latest ones coming out soon, so you might want to follow and check that shit out. But yeah, right now I'm indisputable, and I've also took my A1C from 5.4 to 6.0 to get myself to pre-diabetes. The original thought was, why don't I get myself to actual diabetes? Because if I believe that I have such good blood sugar control, you know, that I'm such the master and the person that I'm saying I am, fucking prove it. Why should people give a shit and listen to me? I was like, well, they'll probably listen to you if you gave yourself diabetes. And I was like, that's fucking harsh, you know? So I just kind of started playing around with it, eating late at night and stuff like that. And then lo and behold, got myself to 6.0. And then back down within like 9 weeks, I think it was, 10 weeks, from 6.0 down to 5.4. But do have some accuracy issues with the blood, the A1C, because using the calculations from my continuous glucose monitor, which are 24/7, I think I'm more down like 5.1 from the calculations I've done. And I can share these calculations with you. It's all science and math, right? And it just basically takes the average of all my blood sugars from day to day, from 24-hour period, from 24 hours, you know, from 90 days, and it'll compile all that information. And one of the things I found too is that A1C is not, it's just kind of like it does a 3-month average, but it's kind of like a finger prick. Like if you went in and got an A1C done and on fasting without eating anything, and then you went back in an hour later, it would completely change. So I think that using the CGM is actually way more accurate than actually getting a blood draw A1C. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let me know in the comments. I know a lot of stuff's controversial about what I've been doing, but you know, I have to do it. I don't trust the healthcare practitioners one fucking bit. I've had to take, you know, control of myself and find out what works for me. And once I stopped all that bullshit of like trusting in them, following all the information, and actually coming up with real data for myself, real practices, is when I had the best results. So that's what I want to share for you guys, and let you guys know that, man, the CGM is pretty much the future of type 2 diabetes treatment. Not type 1, although I think type 1 diabetics can, I've got a rock in my shoe here, my Croc. Who walks in Crocs? Crocs and socks. That's why I've been single for 8 years. But yeah, I don't know. I think for type 1 diabetics, it would be helpful as well. And, you know, how long do I, you know, I've been wearing this for over 1.5 years, And I've learned so much, and I figured, I was like, you know, you don't need this anymore. You can pretty much dump it and just get rid of it and live your life. But problem is, I didn't think it all the way through. It's my channel. I create foods. The whole goal of this whole thing is in a way to monetize one day, is to pretty much be a type 2 diabetes recipe person, a cook. And the only way I can do that is to blood sugar test all the foods that I eat. So the CGM has become part of me. But besides all that, what I'm finding is that I'm learning so fucking much. Like, kind of don't want to part ways with the CGM, even though I've defeated type 2 diabetes in 2023, you know, on December 20th of 2023. But I'm like learning so much, and I'm finding that sometimes my insulin will start acting up. And it's some days, to be completely transparent, which I am with everything with you guys, sometimes I wonder if my blood sugars, if something is going on with me where maybe I might return to diabetes, you know, because sometimes my blood sugar, my fasted blood sugars will be elevated above like 99, like it'll be like 105 milligrams per deciliter, 100, right? And it'll be that way for a couple days until I start intermittent fasting, you know, and then I kind of pump and dump, but it kind of goes off and on. It's not all the time. So some of these things are interesting to follow. You know, those are the things that I look at where I was like concerned, where I dive back into the whole vegan thing with the oil, the fats around the human cells. And so I kind of looked into it. I'm like, what if one day I become like Paul Saladino, where the diet that I'm on is not working, and in fact I turned into a type 2 diabetic? I don't give a shit. If that happens, I'm changing my diet, right? Because I'm not here like the other people to sell you supplements and online useless online courses and, I don't know, dumb information as clickbait. Like, I need real results. So the moment my diet doesn't work, you goddamn right I'm gonna change it. This ain't a show, it's a journey. And it's like I don't know, I'm here to help. Not, I mean, granted, I'd like to make some money and do this full time in the future, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be done honest and truthfully. So yeah, I hope you guys like the laid backness, the chill factor of this. I'm doing this walk right now, and just going for a 30-minute walk, y'alls. I've had it drop my blood sugars down like 20 points, 30 points sometimes, depending how aggressive I go. But the systematic approach I use is very simple and easy to follow. Like, if you want to do what I do, or what I did, and what I do now, is just go for a 30-minute walk. If you guys notice, I've been having a conversation this whole time. I'm just to the point pushing myself because I'm walking up these steep hills that don't even look steep, but steep, where you can still have a conversation. So I know the majority of you guys aren't going to want to do like resistance training, weightlifting and stuff like that. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. You know, all I did to get mine down was the Tim Ferriss 30-30 method, where I had 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up, followed by 30 minutes of cardio like I'm doing right now, light cardio. I lost over just under 50 pounds. And I've told you guys, got my A1C from 6.5 down to 5.3 within about 3 months. So yeah, I'm here to make it easy. I want to give you guys some tips and things like that. And will this method I just shared with you work for everybody? I don't know. I would love for you guys to report, because the more and more you guys comment and report on these things, I know what works and what doesn't. But one thing I could tell you guys is if you're starting out, if I was starting out again, I probably would have ate my protein. It's just very difficult to get stuff down, like food down, like, you know, burger. I ate like a half a pound of burger with like 4 eggs and an avocado. You don't want to eat first thing in the morning. Maybe you do. I don't know, for me, it wasn't my thing, so that's why I did the smoothie. But if you are going to do the smoothie thing, depending on which one you use, it could spike your blood sugar a little bit, right? Like, for instance, mine lately has been spiking up to about 120. I think even today I might have hit 130 milligrams per deciliter, but it didn't last very long and it came back down. And when I first started out, I would drink that smoothie and I'd walk. So if you're ingesting your proteins, your food, consider it like liquid. Your stomach's like a garbage disposal with blades in it. It wants to process the food. When you drink liquids, the blades spin, but they just pass, the liquid passes right through and goes instantly right into your bloodstream. So when you eat food, it takes your top body time to masquerade it, and it's like a slow release. So if you're not taking if you're not going out and getting some exercise right away, this might not be the one for you. But knowing what I know now too, I probably would have done more fasting. I definitely would have done more fasting. Right now I'm on a 24-hour fast. Not exactly right now, but at this present time, where I'll eat once a day. So the goal is somewhere between 8, 9 to 10, within an hour of one of those close together. I will have like my protein shake, and then I'll have like 4 eggs and a half a pound of burger, half a pound of some sort of beef or something. Mainly beef has been my diet, and the eggs and an avocado. But I'll have those within an hour's time, like say between 9 and 10, and then I won't eat until like 5 p.m. 9 o'clock the next day, same time. So I go for a 24-hour fast. Reason I do this is that, as you guys can see, I'm expending energy right now. I'm driving my car around town. So the food I ate is actually the fuel, imagine it like a gas tank, is being spent. I like this, has worked way better for me, especially with the evidence of my continuous glucose monitor and the A1C, is that if you do it this way, instead of eating like a big fat dinner when you go to bed and you're not moving around, you're going to bed with a full gas tank and you're not driving your vehicle around town. So it's either, to me, if someone wanted my advice, I would say do the breakfast or do a lunch if you're gonna do a 24-hour fast. So yeah, I would definitely incorporated fasting when I first started out. Like again, it would have made things a lot faster. So yeah, and then the good thing about having a continuous glucose monitor too is that you got to be careful depending on your body, especially if you are on meds. And this is not medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So, if you are type 2 diabetic, consult your doctor. But the good thing about the continuous glucose monitor is that it'll give you power to work with your doctor. It gives you real data. So if your blood sugars if you're doing intermittent fasting and your blood sugars dip, down to the 60s, the 50s, and they stay down there and you start to get a little dizzy, stuff starts happening, you can report this to your doctor. And what's going to happen is over time, as you do little increments of intermittent fasting, it doesn't have to be 24 hours. It could be a 16-hour fast. I'm even practicing right now where I do an 8-hour fast. So I eat at 9 a.m. and then I eat at 5 p.m. just to expel all that. But you can show your doctor what's going on with your CGM, and then your doctor's most likely, as your blood sugars keep progressing lower and lower, they're going to start cutting your meds until they cut your meds completely. So that's a bonus that you guys can take with you and have that. Like, I don't know what's more comforting than that when you're type 2 diabetic. Like, I don't know what's more informative for your doctor than that, right? Like, they get to see everything that's happening. And I think a lot of people don't want to talk about this and they don't want to put it out there because this is going to make everybody redundant, right? Meaning that you won't need them anymore. I think we're progressing towards a point where I don't need to have a healthcare practitioner. Between my continuous glucose monitor, and for a lot of you who don't know, you can actually, in most states, get your own blood labs done. A1C, testosterone, HDL, LDL, all that. You can have everything done without the consent of a doctor. It's your personal right. You just pay for it out of pocket, which isn't that much money. Over here we have a LabCorp, I think it is. I'm in San Diego, California. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people want you to know about it because once you get this thing, once you start practicing, that's what happened to me. I spent $13,000 on a functional medicine practitioner. They started loading me full of supplements and doing a food elimination diet, and I tried it because I spent all the money and put my trust in them, but I found way better results using the continuous glucose monitor, which just exposes everything. So yeah, there's a lot you guys can learn from me. God damn, is there a lot to share? And I'm trying to make this as quickly as possible. Like I said, I opened up. I'm a single dad, guys. I got a special needs kid, 17-year-old still in diapers. And I own a roofing business. And it's fucking hard, man. I don't have time to. So I want to try to spit as many tips and things out for you as possible. But I need your help to let me know what those tips are, what you guys need. Because I just go my day to day and I just start thinking of shit. Like what was I going through when I first started out? What would be the most helpful thing that people would need? And one of them, a guy who follows me on YouTube, mentioned that he wished he would have known what to eat was like the biggest thing, like foods. And interesting, he said he didn't give a shit about continuous glucose monitor, about blood sugar results. He just wanted to know what to eat. I don't know. I understand, but I'm like, if you're a skeptic like me, I would want to know what to eat too. But going off what I said, you'd have to have your own continuous glucose monitor just to make sure that it works for you. But also, if someone was recommending me shit, especially with the circus show of information we have out there, I feel like the continuous glucose monitor results, the blood sugar results of eating a food is fucking significantly important. Like that's actually the proof in the pudding. So I don't know if that's offsetting people or what. I mean, you guys let me know. I'm here to cater videos for you guys to help you get past your, on your journey and give you as much as the truth as I see it from my personal lived experience rather than some things that people read from a fucking book. But I need to know, what is that? What's your pain points? So I wish I would have had someone like me in a channel like this when I started out because, I spent thousands of hours on the internet and much of it was just a fucking waste of my time, So what you guys may find fascinating too with me is all the people that I found that make sense. I've actually purchased all their books. I compile this data into AI and I can reference it at any time. And AI will only go off the information of the literature that I gave it. It does not go and search the web. So if I have someone like Professor Ben Bickman, Dr. Berg, Dr. Bernstein, Dr. Jason Fung, all of these people, I can compile their information into AI and only I can have it act as Jason Fung or Dr. Ben Bickman, right? And then I can combine everything together and say, well, here's a problem I have, with blood cells living longer, right? Like if you eat, like I do, a healthy diet, what happens is your blood cells live twice as long as the average human being because you're getting nutrients and vitamins and things like that. Blood cells actually die off within like 60 days or so, give or take, depending on who you are. What I found was fascinating that the blood cells could live up to 120 days when you're getting exercise and you're athletic. So when you get an A1C, your blood cells have more time to live in your body. Therefore, sugar sticks to them, whatever sugars you have, and it actually gives you a false high A1C, even a false high fasted morning blood sugars. So yeah, interesting information that I can plug in and ask questions like, why would my A1C be high? Because I'm doing it, I'm getting exercise, I don't eat sugar, I'm eating adequate amounts of proteins and fats and vegetables and fruits. What could possibly be going on? And it'll go and nitpick all those cookies. And these are questions that you guys can ask me, where as I keep compiling these books, more and more data, more and more info starts popping up where we can have a complete library of answers. And just, it's fucking, I don't know, I'm almost done with my walk here. I just want to leave you guys with this, is that this is the most best time to ever be fucking alive. Like there's so much bitchin' ass shit out there, like the shit I just explained to you here. Like it's computing my A1C, right? You don't even need to go to a doctor. And we'll explore that. It's saying, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to a doctor. We got to take that back so we don't get in trouble. But it's telling me that it's more accurate. And we can play with that. That's just fascinating information and a way to just completely blow the lid off all the lies, all the deception, all the bullshit out there. So the other thing I want to leave you guys with too is just don't trust. Mr. Mark Twain said, believe half the things you see and then the things you hear. I think we're at the point where you can believe maybe a quarter of the things you see, right? So I'm the guy, I'm the ninja, I'm the Bruce fucking Lee of type 2 diabetes. and I'm here to help you guys in any way that I can. And I hope that this channel does help you, and I hope we can build a community for the future, because there's just so much cool shit coming down the pipeline, man. And it just takes people like you, if you like it, you know, share this video, subscribe and all that kind of shit, but mainly comment. And a lot of you don't realize when you comment, you're helping out other people as well. Now, I have another channel called Adrian the Recovered Diabetic, and I got people commenting on there. So people are skeptical of me, but when other people come in, basically like real people, it builds more trust. And I don't know, we have some people on there that have reverse type 2 diabetes for like 8 years, and they've done some amazing work. So yeah, I don't know, I'm talking too much, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.